Rio Ferdinand has compared Manchester United star Maino to AC Milan legend Clarence Seedorf after his winner against Wolves. Maino produced a stunning piece of skill and composure to net a 97th-minute winner for United at Molineux on Thursday night. Pedro Neto appeared to have earned Wolves a point when he netted in the 95th minute, but Maino found the bottom corner 2 minutes later in an entertaining 4-3 win. It was the young midfielder's second goal for United in 4 days, after he also scored in the 4-2 win over Newport County in the FA Cup. Former United defender Ferdinand was full of praise for Maino while analyzing his winning goal. "I'm not saying he's of the same ability or that he's that player yet, but he gives me vibes of Clarence Seedorf," he said on TNT Sports. "The way he maneuvers in tight situations and the way he manipulates this ball and uses his body at times. He shifts it, pops it through Max Kilman's legs. Beautiful. He's elusive at times as well, and the control and the awareness to pick his spot. Some players see the headlines there and the back pages and think, I'm going to go for it. But he just caresses it." Maino's winner came after a seesawing match in which United had raced into a 2-0 lead thanks to Marcus Rashford's curling finish and Rasmus Højlund's bundled effort at the near post. Pablo Sarabia's penalty was then cancelled out by Scott McTominay's header before a grandstand finish. Kilman scored from a set piece before Neto scored on the counter-attack to make it 3-3 and set the stage for Maino. "It's a dream come true. It's such a tough place to come," he said. "They've had such a good home run here, so we had to get the win. I've still not come down from it. I still feel like I'm dreaming, to be honest. To start playing in the Premier League for my boyhood club, it's been amazing, and I'm now just trying to get a good run of games in, win more and more games, and get real." Højlund was impressed by the youngster. "I didn't get to see him in pre-season because I wasn't there, but all of the lads were talking about him and saying he is a generational talent," he said. "He has a nice body type, he is very mature, and has a good personality as well. He's very calm, and outside the pitch he's a nice, relaxed guy. You can see he's composed and shows his quality, and he showed it again tonight. He's an incredible talent. He's only 18 years old, and I thought I was young." Bruno Fernandes said, "He's a big talent. I've said it in the past. I've seen him play for the under-18s 2 or 3 years ago, and I said to a friend who was in Manchester who wanted to see some youth games, I said the name of Kabi, without knowing he was going to be this talented and this player. The talent was there, but he's better as a kid than a player. He will be in the future equally, again and again." Here are the moments you might have missed from Man United's thrilling 4-3 win over Wolves in the Premier League. On Thursday evening, Manchester United recorded their first Premier League win of 2024 on Thursday night, beating Wolves 4-3 in dramatic fashion at Molineux. After Pedro Neto appeared to have earned Wolves a point, making it 3-3 with 95 minutes on the clock, Maino produced a moment of magic to score his first Premier League goal 2 minutes later. He curled a shot into the far corner from just inside the penalty area. United had earlier led 2-0 and 3-1, netting through Marcus Rashford, Rasmus Højlund, and Scott McTominay. The latter put the Reds 3-1 up less than 2 minutes after stepping off the bench. The win, which was fully merited, moved United up to 7th in the Premier League standings, 1 point behind 6th-placed West Ham United. Though the scoreline suggested it was a close battle that the Reds narrowly edged, their performance was much more convincing, meaning they now have a platform to try and build on, starting against West Ham this weekend. Below, Men's Sport has highlighted some of the moments you may not have spotted from the 5-goal contest at Molineux. The first moment is when Garnacho savors Højlund's goal, as those in close proximity to Højlund immediately mobbed him after he turned home United's second goal in the Black Country. Alejandro Garnacho, who had initially peeled away from his marker in anticipation of being found by Luke Shaw, had a moment to himself. Sinking to his knees, the Argentine raised his arms in the direction of the sky, highlighting how much the goal meant to him, despite not scoring it himself. After raising his arms aloft, he then lowered them and, just for a second, buried his head in the turf and put his hands on his head. It was clearly an emotional moment for the youngster who, without even scoring, demonstrated his passion and love for the club. Once back on his feet, he embraced the likes of Shaw, Rashford, and the goal scorer Højlund, who had bagged his third league goal in as many games. The second moment you've missed is that togetherness is clear. Though United were dominant in the opening 45 minutes, they did on a couple of occasions have to shut down potential Wolves openings. With 42 minutes on the clock, the hosts attempted to break into the left-hand channel of the United penalty area. Right-back Diogo Dalot stood firm and produced a block that in the end saw the ball bounce back off a Wolves player and go behind for a goal kick. Lisandro Martinez came over to embrace Dalot and celebrate his defensive contribution, before Andre Onana and Rafael Varane followed suit. Between them, the quartet celebrated the goal kick like a goal. It was reminiscent of when Martinez and Varane reacted when Dalot produced a similar block in the 1-0 win at Leicester City in September 2022. The third moment is when Ten Hag celebrates with Casemiro. Just 80 seconds after stepping off the bench, seemingly in a ploy to try and beef up United's midfield, McTominay was running in the direction of United's fans to celebrate putting them 3-1 up. It marked his 7th goal of the season in all competitions, and it arrived at a vitally important juncture, as he was mobbed by his United teammates, including Martinez, who almost ripped the shirt off the Scots' back among the celebrations. Erik ten Hag and Casemiro celebrated the goal on the touchline. The Brazilian had just stepped off the pitch to pave the way for McTominay to come on, and he embraced his manager with a huge hug, with both knowing the magnitude of the goal. The last moment is when Maino mobbed. The first of many? If Mainu's ceiling is anything to go by, it most probably will be. After scoring one of the most dramatic United winners in recent years, Maino was mobbed by his teammates following the full-time whistle. Almost every member of the team made it their mission to rush over to him following the conclusion of the game. It was another sign of togetherness and unity within the squad, again and again. Højlund was impressed by the youngster. "I didn't get to see him in pre-season because I wasn't there, but all of the lads were talking about him and saying he is a generational talent," he said. "He has a nice body type, he is very mature, and has a good personality as well. He's very calm, and outside the pitch he's a nice, relaxed guy. You can see he's composed and shows his quality, and he showed it again tonight. He's an incredible talent. He's only 18 years old, and I thought I was young." Bruno Fernandes said, "He's a big talent. I've said it in the past. I've seen him play for the under-18s 2 or 3 years ago, and I said to a friend who was in Manchester who wanted to see some youth games, I said the name of Kabi, without knowing he was going to be this talented and this player. The talent was there, but he's better as a kid than a player. He will be in the future equally."